It's the final round of semifinals on No Cover, with 4 bands competing for one chance to enter the finals. Slaves to Humanity, Mirror Lake, and Penny Fountain each won their respective first rounds. But also, Dark Horse, Night Spins,
I did not vote for you guys.
in an unprecedented move, were brought back by the judges to win the wildcard round. In preparation for their last chance to move on to the finals, all 4 bands engage in short-term mentorships with our esteemed guests. Legendary talent manager, producer, film agent, and supermensch, Shep Gordon. Guitar virtuoso and Mercy Council member, Carmen Vandenberg. And the co-hosts of No Cover, Kellin Quinn, and myself, Caity Babs, all bring their knowledge and experience to the benefit of these No Cover contestants.
I watched your performance the other night, which makes my job as a mentor really easy, so thank you for that. But I do have a few suggestions. Suggestions from what I do is always weird when you've only just met people.
Hi guys. Hi. I just really want to be able to give whatever advice I can because I believe in you guys and I really love your songs.
You guys have an interesting style and I was wondering what influences, the music that you make.
I feel like we all bring something different.
Yeah, we all have different genres that inspire us. Like Joe, you have.
I listen to a lot of metal,
Nice.
North Lane and some heavier stuff that has weird synthy stuff incorporated in it. That's what I really like.
Yeah, I like more melodic, grungier bands. Like Nirvana is a big inspiration in the solos that I write and things like that. Smashing Pumpkins is a huge one.
Oh yeah, I like Smashing Pumpkins probably just as much as you, man. I got a tattoo of them.
You guys ever thought about putting in some thought into how you guys are dressed or anything like that?
So for me, I live for drama. So I guess if anything, I'm looking for something that's gonna just be an outright statement, an undeniable statement. That's really what I think would work well for this band because I feel like that's what our music is.
I've just given you the Electroharmonics Pog and there's Pigtronics, which is basically, they both create octaves, lower and higher, but the Pigtronic one also has an option of a fuzz. I was just thinking, when you have those melodies that are popping out, or if you want a little counter melody or anything like that, just put one of those in it, just gives it a bit of another element or edge. When you're doing those single note stuff, you can add that. It just gives texture. But never overuse them. Those are kind of things that you just put on for a second and always make sure you turn them off. Because I've done that before. We play a chord and then you're like, what the hell's happening? Yeah. I really believe working on tone and sound is kind of important. And I know you guys don't have your own amps with you. This is a insane pellet if you want to try a different distortion for this evening, whatever, when you rehearse. This Archer, Jeff Beck gave me when we were touring. I don't know if you guys know the clone pedal. It's the big gold one. There's very few of them left in the world. They're worth thousands each. And this is the baby version of it. And it's incredible. It's one of my most precious.
Oh, God.
If you don't keep the gain too high, it really cuts through.
Okay.
It's one of those ones that if I play with a telly, it cuts through too much. It's piercing. But with a Gibson, it could sound cool. And since I've given you a couple of things to try out, maybe you can try this.
I'm very curious how the choice of the name came around, because I think that's a very difficult word, slavery. Any variation of it is a really difficult word, particularly as I get to know all of you, because none of you have a heavy vibe. I don't feel any connection with that thought and the way you conduct yourselves. There are people who I would understand the thought from, people who felt depressed, who are depressed, who feel the weight of the world. You have a great chemistry. It explains why, to me, that song was so good, which is really hard to do at a young age, to get a song that really feels like everyone's playing the same song, which is my other comment that I would give to you, is that I felt at times that maybe you're too comfortable with each other because you're so comfortable in being in the moment of that song. And you have to always remember that once you're doing it visually, that's going to reinforce your music. I just really hope you all stay together and keep the humor that you have between each other, because you're definitely going to have mountains and valleys and enjoy the valleys as much as the mountains.
The hard thing about doing a show like this is you only have really one song to showcase who you are and what you're about. When you get up there for your next performance, it's important for you guys to leave everything on the stage.
What if we put in like a more of a actual show? Say having an intro to it and actually play on the undead aspect of it, and really because like we felt like Alice would really like a big show, like he said, like the last chorus to have like a big thing, and I would change the melody in the end to have it, it's not in the recording, but like to change it and just really make it a big song, like with something so simple that we have.
Cool.
Does it work with the melody? You gotta check. So something like that. I have no idea what I just did.
That's great.
Do not take this the wrong way, but when I saw you on stage, your performance and your voice and all of you guys together, you sound massive, but you don't look massive. When I see you, it kind of looks like you should be performing at a 500 cap venue opening up for someone, but you guys sound huge, so I want to make you look huge. Dawn's gonna help me with that.
All right.
Dawn Ritz is an international costume designer, stylist, and conceptual artist who interweaves seamlessly between the worlds of music, film, television, fashion, and art. She has worked with artists as diverse as Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande, Elton John, Nick Jonas, Bella Thorne, Timbaland, and Slipknot. So Dawn, what do you think that Mirror Lake could use?
When I look at you guys right now, this is like my everyday look, right? And so we're in the everyday look together here right now. Going on stage, it's an elevation, right? Even to describe Lady Gaga, right? Like there were so many pop artists, and I know I'm going into the pop, but even Slipknot, there's so many metal artists that when they first played, their first shows and there's like 30 other bands, what stands out that everybody looks their way. So we want to take you from this amazing place where you're at right now, but we want to elevate you into that really iconic look because you're to match your sound, which is iconic.
So we want Alice to go, whoa, that's cool.
Awesome.
That's so cool, yeah.
Because I'm not here to change you. That's not who I am. That's not how I work. Each one of us has gifts, and we have our truth and our story to share.
I want something as far as clothing that's going to really be deep and gritty, something angry, something upset, because I'm so upset with myself in the song. And I think that if we could convey that with what we're wearing, then we're gonna hit it every time.
Let's go find that for you, Avery.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll look at some pieces that are not just clothing pieces, not stuff that you go into the mall and there's thousands of them made. These are actual custom pieces that were created by artists, designers, one-of-a-kind pieces, so that way we can match your story and bring this all together to deliver this to the audience.
Now we got a band. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we love it. Super cool.
It's gonna be a little secret of ours until you hit the stage.
Feels like a haunted house, 'cause no one ever halfway through that, it'd be great if you had like to build it up on the fifth one, just to build it up with some tension on the guitars, like high some little ding, 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 ding. Build up that tension and release. That's the only thing I can think of. I think just rock like crazy.
I think that the opening riff is really cool, and then you go into that sort of descending riff to put the vocal on, and I don't know why you don't just stay on that bass line, really. I wouldn't change it.
I felt like it was very, very polished, very flawless. I really was in. My only thought is I would love for you guys to have a chorus like Good Charlotte. The magic of Good Charlotte is they remained authentic, true to themselves, but they had these hooks that allowed them to cross over into an even bigger scale in terms of audience.
I guess strive for, like they're saying, a bit more hook in your choruses. Also, I'm kind of left with a feeling of like trying to figure out your lane, because it's kind of like a generic active rock vibe, but you guys are so young. I feel like I'd be curious what your influences were. I feel like there's more headroom in the creativity, and you're kind of in like a safe zone, and it sounds good, so it's hard to, I feel like you're pulling off what you've conceived, but I think I would push you to conceive of more. That's kind of what I got.
That's absolutely, you hit the nail on the head, Tosin. I think with you guys, you're so great. You're great musicians, you know, especially for your age, but not just for your age, just you are in, you know, just that's a fact. And you all look like you're having fun together and you're doing your thing and you're having fun doing, you know, this thing in this rock realm, and especially being in, you know, in a rock band, there needs to be that element of, you know, just experiment, you know, be a little bit more dangerous, own your weird, you know, start listening to each other's influences and figure out where you actually like kind of pop out in the scene. Even when it comes to, you know, the lyrics, like don't be afraid to keep digging deeper and don't be afraid to keep gelling what this is, because you guys are definitely on your way.
When you get down to that bass part, that's when you can really let the audience know what this song's about. That's when you engage them on a level of saying, okay, now this chick is da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da, and they get more angry, and the song keeps building and building, and then bang!
This goddamn ship's about to blow. I'm just a drunk piece of shit. I want you here, I wanna hold you tight, and I just wanna get some sleep. Warned you about the mess I made when I took you aside. Pieces off the ground, anything we can salvage now. Left my Sunday shoes upstairs and I walked it up. If we don't hurry, we'll miss the boat. Just another drunk without that home. I don't even drink that much, but I fill my cup. Pour me one more shot to go. Maybe just another for the road. Wait a minute. Where in hell did time just go? You've been holding me tight, but you're all alone.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I love the fact that you guys were all singing and having a great time. I love the context of it. It's kind of like this really like happy song, but I'm slowly going insane. So there was the dichotomy to that. So it's great to see you guys again.
Nobody can explain that, what's going on with you, which is really good. I mean, you don't find that anywhere where you can look at somebody and go, I've never seen that before. So, never lose that, whatever you do.
It's hard with you guys. I fear that like your brand is like, there's like a Strokes meets Phoenix thing, and I wanna, you know, be sensitive to like where listeners are in 2021.
There is a market, there is a place for you guys, I feel. I think it's just about like sort of breaking those barriers and being like, you know, it's all about kind of positioning yourself in front of like the right people and like finding your fans. I feel like I'm at one of your shows, which is always welcomed.
I just appreciate all the details that you've really worked at, so I'm looking forward to the next song.
Come to me in a dream. Tell me what you are, what you need. So come to me as anything. Come to me in a dream. Tell me what I am, what you need. So come to me as anything. Searching for you. I don't have a clue. Come to me in a dream. Come to me in a dream. Come to me in a searching for you. I don't have a clue. Come to me. Let it dream. Come to me. Let it dream. It's so much more powerful with you guys together like that. Even the color pickup is great. Before, when you were over here, there's a lot of air. Now it's a lot of power.
I love your energy and I love the whole, it gives me like Tumblr aesthetic, which is always my goal. I love that type of stuff.
I would just say that I'm getting like a grunge energy, but even grunge bands had a degree of tightness, even amidst all of the angst and the mess. Because to be powerful, there's a unification of the sonic hits, you know? And so I think, drummer, I think you have a bit of a ways to go as far as like maintaining a consistent tempo. I like you guys because there is an authenticity. I feel like your songs are personal, and I feel like your identity is strong, but I do think there's quite a bit of development on like the fundamentals of simply playing together.
When you're being kind of you're throwing your voice in a way where it's kind of off key on purpose, and if you're just being off key, there's a fine line with that. And I'm not going to judge you. You probably were just playing with that situation, because that is a very rock and grunge approach. I would just encourage you to explore that more and just keep surprising people with the things that you can do.
You have loads of spirit and you have an interesting person. How do you mine that through the next few months of your life? Because you have everything going for you. It's just a little unrealized still, but it's all there. What's interesting about you is I believe in you, and I want to hear the next song soon.
It echoes in my mind, no matter how I fight. It's hard to differentiate the shadows from the night. Afraid to let it out, it seems I'm overwhelmed. I'm forced to run from something I can't live without. Well, I can't shake it, frozen in time. Please tell me that someone hears my cries. There isn't any use to fighting it. I've never been good at hiding it. I wish there was a way to try again, but I'm holding on to life until I can't no more, until it calls me home. I'm at a loss for words. This isn't easy hurt. No matter what I do to change, the tables never turn. Don't say it's gonna be alright. You don't know what it's like to die inside every single night. Well, I can't shake it, frozen inside. Please tell me that someone hears my cries. There isn't any use to fighting it. I've never been good at hiding it. I wish there was a way to try again, but I'm holding on to life until I can't no more, until it calls me home. Did you find the light in the dark, or let it sink in, tear you apart? Holding on, standing, swear you would let go. Move along, break away from everything you know. There isn't any use to fighting it. I've never been good at hiding it. I wish there was a way to try again, but I'm holding on to life until I can't no more, until it calls me home.
I just feel like this is your moment and you just totally owned it. And I just feel like you're such a superstar, like in every single way.
And I love you.
I love you. Your vocals are so strong, but then the lyrics, they just like take me to a place where I want to know more. And I actually really liked the choreography too. Like I felt like you guys were really in that same space as you, which is what you want from the people around you. And I love that you came to the front of the stage.
If Tina Turner and Janis Joplin had a long-lost sister.
Whoa, that's such a big comment!
Well, I mean, it's got the drama of all of that. The choreography and the band was up to what she was doing. You know, it didn't just fall into the background, it was all together. which is nice.
When she came to the front of the stage, you guys supported her, as in like you're all like in the same army. Of course, your stage presence is amazing, and I loved the dynamics of you coming down and you really engaging in those moments and the tightness of the drops and all of that. It's really cool. I think you guys are in a great direction and a great trajectory to do whatever it is that you want to do.
I feel like you're carrying the band. I think you could be doing a bit more, not that you need to do more necessarily in the realm of like play more, I mean creatively. I think you could utilize space a little bit more. There's kind of a consistent wall of sound. I'm wanting to hear your melody, but it's just, you're both strumming like kind of constantly. And I mean, dude, you're playing 7-string guitars, like there's a cool thing about like using space, because then when you do actually do a chug, you have the benefit of a melodic vocalist, and not many metal bands have that. But then I think there are metal bands who kind of exceed what you guys are doing in the realm of like rhythm section.
There's not enough hooks for me. I didn't quite get anything I can take away from it. I just gotta say, I don't know what everyone is jumping up and down about. You got an amazing singer. You're an amazing singer. I can hear that, of course, but there's no time for her to sort of rise up like a genie out of a bottle, because it's like, and it's so formulaic when it's down. I just found it hard to hold the song. Maybe it's my fault. Probably my fault. I'm the only one, because everyone else is like saying great things, and I'm like, I don't know what I missed. So maybe the next song is going to do it for me.
This is the one time a producer would really, really be good in this. You've got power on both ends. Let's find that middle, and I think then you've really got a powerful sound.
And is it just the way you looked at me then? Or is it just the way you played my mind? Now tell me, honey, why I'm feeling so bad. Or have I lost my mind? Lost my mind. Was it the look you gave when I said I was fine? Or could it be something bigger than me? Now tell me why you had to say I had lied and face it. It's just hard time. Was I a liar, a traitor, or just the one who broke your heart? Now face it, you can't blame me for tearing us apart. Now where were you when you had torn me apart? Where were all the things that I love? Now tell me why you're trying to change it from the start and know that it's all in my heart. Was I a liar, a traitor, or just the one who broke your heart? Now face it, you can't blame me for tearing us apart. Was I a liar, a traitor, or just the one who broke your heart? Now face it, you can't blame me for tearing us apart.
You, Mr. Friedman, are a secret weapon in this band. It's really cool. It's fun to watch you play. I loved that verse riff. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
It's really clean. I mean, he's playing one thing, and he's doing the lead, and it's not in the way. It's not battling each other.
Yeah,
you know?
everyone's supportive of each other. That was really cool.
I like to engage the audience within the first 6 seconds. This song that had that immediately, you know, where our attention is on you. And I did feel like it had that ear candy that I was kind of looking for. I really enjoyed this one, yeah.
And then the other thing with the double songs that you do one back to back today, right? So try to think of a different drum intro, because both of those songs were just 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're like, but just a little variety. Those are just little things, and you'll pick it up along the way.
This really comes down to how interesting you are, you know, as people, because it's like you can all play and you all do your thing, but it's just as you go forward, you should be thinking when you write lyrics as well, to just not only write about yourself and what you're thinking. You know, there's no observations of other things. It's just purely every song I've heard of yours, fourth now, is just lines about yourself. You're 16, you know, you have every right to be learning your way. And like, I'm just talking about from an objective lyricist point of view, I gave my life to words, you know. Just consider that. Consider just to open it out a little bit more, read a bit more, listen to other bands more again, like the cross-referencing of his favorite weird bands, and you know, and just keep inspired. And remember, it just comes down to how interesting you are as a lyricist, because you can have all these, you know, the help of every band, you can have all the crescendos, but if you're not saying anything that's interesting to people they can identify with, it's a bit hard, you know.
When I listen to your band, I do not hear a distinct quality. You guys are so young, it's actually incredible the way you sound, but I think to go further, you should, like I said before, basically try to unearth out of yourselves a distinct thing. Yeah. You hit a stage of being able to play in time and in tune and to write some good songs. But there are other bands that can do that. Yeah. You know, you want to be in a band as like a legitimate thing you do, so I think you just got to keep digging for a distinct quality.
Yeah.
Did you guys think about the name?
Well.
I mean, are you married to the name?
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Divorce the name.
That was the one thing. That was the one thing that we all kind of went.
We agree.
The name actually predates.
Predates kind of before these guys.
Oh, well, there you go. New blood.
Yeah.
when you two are playing together without, any time for reference, it just shows how much that you've spent time together and that you can kind of get inside each other's heads and actually like be kind of married in those parts, and that was beautiful. And I noticed in the second verse, so this is something I love a lot as far as being a front person myself, and also being like, I play guitar, I sing, I'm in heels, which I see you are as well.
my first
You
heels.
gotta juggle a couple different things, and you still, one of the beautiful things about, I think it was the second verse or the second chorus, you were singing and playing along with yourself, as in you were kind of miming your melody along with the guitar, and I thought that was absolutely awesome. Those are the little nuggets that people like us, when we're in the audience, like, okay, there's like a different layer. There's an audience that's just gonna be like, yeah, let's rock. And then we're gonna be like searching for other things. So you gave like 4 to 5 to 6 different moments. I lost count. And then at the very end, the way that you guys ended it in such this somber and beautiful, like just solitary way, where you threw away your wedding gown. Just like, I wanted to be like, who is this? I want to go and find her.
And what did you do?
And also, what did you do exactly? So I thought it was
the
beautiful.
first song.
That was awesome.
The last thing you say is, wedding gown?
Yeah.
And everybody goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. There's more to the story. Yeah. I normally say, listen to your producer. In your case, I would say you need to produce yourself, because nobody's going to understand what you're doing except you. I don't know. You might get a producer that would say, well, let's do this, let's do that. Wow. I wouldn't. I would just say, you guys produce your own albums.
Your songs are very artfully crafted. They're the most dynamic songs we've heard. There's all these little, like I said, you balance simplicity with like these details. Like when you did a descending, you kind of were, in the very beginning there's this melody, and then as your bass comes in, you kind of shifted the melody as you put a different emphasis on a different chord that I thought was the root chord. There's these beautiful stops and starts. It's so developed. I'm actually curious as to why you guys aren't, how do I ask this? We were kind of talking about it, but it's just like, is there something like missing from, between where you are now and where you want to be? Because I don't think I can really, there's not much to criticize. So I'm curious as to, have you released a lot of albums? Have you done a lot of tours? What do you feel is the blockage to you getting to that next step?
The releasing of albums. Yeah, we've released one, and we've done a couple singles, and then COVID. And we were about to be on actually a really awesome tour. First gig in North Carolina, and then next day everyone's going home.
What happened to that record though, the first record?
It's out there now.
We've had a hard time finding people to work with who will capture our sound and what we want to do. So we've recorded things, and a lot of times it ends up being like, that's not the sound that we want to portray. That's not like how we see ourselves, how we hear ourselves, and how other people see us when we play live.
You are what you are, and you have it, and I'm sure there's more songs, and that possibly was my favorite of yours, actually, I would say.
It's our newest one.
For sure, I would say it's my favorite by quite a long way, actually. Perhaps you're here because you just need that good break. I mean, the art of being successful or getting whatever you may want, it takes a team of people, and maybe you haven't been fortunate enough to find that. Like everyone who's here has had lucky enough to have support. Time and time again with most bands that come through here, the vocalist, the singer, the front person doesn't even have the lyric or the melody or the kind of presence, charisma to sustain those highs that go with, and you really get that. You know what I mean? No one leaves you behind. You know what I mean? You're like, so many times I've seen the singer left behind here endlessly, but you're right with everyone, so it's great.
I love that. That's a like perfect punk song. That's great in front of an audience, man. It's energy all the way. Tighter, much tighter too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much tighter.
That tempo is probably a bit friendlier.
Yeah.
Your fans are gonna like feel really drawn to that.
I like the fact that this song was like 2 minutes, 30 seconds, just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
You really are like a punk rock band. 3 young kids, a bunch of chords. You got a bit of truth coming out of where you're at, what you're feeling, and that's why it's legit. I just believe in you. I just think you need time.
I would say if there are bands that inspire you, really try to understand what it is that's going on with them. I mean, I feel like the Zombie song was kind of fun and a little bit adolescent.
That wasn't the original lyrics. The original lyrics were very dark.
Oh, good. What was they?
It was like, help me break free from these chains that bind me to my mind that's broken. Yeah, no one's ever really heard that, but
That's so good.
We weren't allowed, like.
Sorry, who would you say you weren't allowed? I missed that.
Like, not like allowed, but one of our band, he didn't want us to do it.
Is the band member that said you weren't allowed to do it in the band?
No.
Okay. Then
No, yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so.
then that doesn't even matter.
Follow your instincts always, I would think.
The other one felt a little bit forced. Too many. This one here though is who you are.
I think we're all kind of collectively encouraging you to, go with your instinct and own your truth, because your truth is beautiful. So.
It's funny how it all turns out, even through our own self-doubt. Every word we say, we drift further from the way we promised we'd always remain. A body made of sticks and stones, it's easier to be alone. My vision turns to gray, it gets harder every day to keep all these demons away. I'll shut down every word, I'll hit you where it hurts. Resentment is a somber song. If all we have to hold are the words on which you choke to say it, baby. Do you ever miss me when I'm gone? Do you ever miss me when I'm gone? I'm taken up above the crowd, the parts of me that I have found, stitching up my heart, leave me there to make a start from a world that's not falling apart. And what I've seen is you never really cared for me, so it seems that this should be easy. I'll shut down every word, I'll hit you where it hurts. Resentment is a somber song. If all we have to hold are the words on which you choke, then say it, baby. Do you ever miss me when I'm gone? Have you ever missed me when have you ever opened your eyes to realize you're still blind? Do you ever blame yourself for wasting all my time? Sincerely, I'll let you go alone. Passionately, you'll never feel at home. Sincerely, I'll let you go alone. Passionately, you'll never feel it at home.
What a brilliant example of your raw talent. Like, it was just amazing to hear your voice with all of that space, and that's something that I love that you guys took the risk. Two things though, to my lovely, the bookends over here. I wouldn't try to play the acoustic guitar like an electric guitar, and if you're both going to be playing acoustic, don't play the same chords the whole time. Try to make it a little bit interesting. That was a little distracting.
It's the first time they were all on the same page, and that's how powerful that was. You know, they were doing what she was doing, and that's what made it stick. And that was one of the best songs we've heard since we've been here.
And like, I don't know if I can swear, but like that song fucks me up. Like literally every time I feel I start crying when I hear it.
This was the song that we heard a week ago, right? Okay.
But just when you hit that note and the lights went on behind you and just like, oh God, this show is making me go crazy. It was mind blowing.
You kind of did with this arrangement of your song. I feel like you're doing an ethereal sort of melodic role, and then you guys you're no longer playing bass, so you're providing that sort of stereo image of the guitars. You sung it as if the band was still, like as if the whole, and it made me realize like how powerful your voice is. Really powerful, and I think it's a really well-written song. So I would take from this arrangement, I think you could utilize that. Maybe you do more like sort of upper melodic lines, and you guys give her more space, but damn, that was really good.
What you all did is you figured out a way how to be around her voice, what your crazy power is. And so just rediscover it yourselves, you know, support her and work with us. That's what happened there. That's what happened for us. So you can put it in your heavy thing because you want to rock, and you know, so I understand that as well. But I think that really showed you something, you know, about, don't forget what your major weapon is.
Hell yeah, guys, good job. So it's the semifinals, and I gotta say, each artist, I think, really took the judges' notes from first time around and applied them. I mean, we saw Slaves to Humanity like really open up, same with Penny Fountain, becoming more of themselves, being less nervous on stage. I was really surprised by Mirror Lake though. I love the Night Spins. Like, I think that they're like the band, they're my homies, I love them. I really want them to do well, but man, that last song by Mirror Lake.
I don't know, something about Night Spins like keeps me wanting more from them. I love Mirror Lake as well. Her vocal range is insane. Her voice is unlike any female I've heard in the scene ever.
The judges have a really hard decision tonight because only one artist is gonna move through to the finals, so have fun with your deliberation.
What was interesting about them at that point, and what they did, was they found a way to support her musically.
I see her as this tremendous rock singer that's in a like metal band.
Got a natural metal band there. They're really good as a metal band.
I think they're mediocre as a metal band.
No.
We keep talking about Avery and the band as separate entities, and I think...
Yeah. Avery's a star.
Yeah, but I also think her value is in a heavy band, because how often do you see that? And she has the power to cut through.
I mean, it just comes down to the simple fact of songwriting. You know, you take a Slipknot, who the heaviest band on the planet, and then he's going to go sing a chorus that we all remember that's amazing. And they have no understanding of how to write a great song yet.
And I think when I look at Night Spins, I'm like,
it's
what's
so
the album
complete.
cover look like?
I mean, they're still by far the best. I mean, they're the best unit we've seen. It's too complete. There's such beautiful interplay between the band. They know who they are. They understand their genre. They understand showmanship.
The first band that came on, the
Slaves to Humanity.
I mean, they're a great teenage party band. That has value, like all kinds of value.
They're talented and ahead of the curve, but they're not ready.
One thing I did want to say about Avery is that I would encourage her to keep moving in her direction because she's doing it right.
You know, Avery, she may find her way, she may not.
So we have a band that's developed, ready to go. They have their sound, they have their look, and then we have a band that has a really talented singer that needs some development. I'm excited to see what you guys are gonna choose. All right, the judges have made their decision. Let's bring in the bands.
Squish on in here. Welcome back.
I want to applaud every artist tonight for taking the advice the judges gave you, and I think that everybody stepped up, everybody brought their A game, and everybody was phenomenal. And I know the judges had a really hard decision to make, but you guys all did an amazing job. Just wanted to say that.
It's time to reveal the napkins, so we're gonna start off with Gavin.
Great job, everyone. So much promise on the stage. Thank you so much. I gotta go with the excellence of Night
One for Night Spins.
You wrote right.
That was Lzzy. Who'd you pick?
There was something about your voice, Avery. You are an absolute rock star, and I love you so much. I hope that I get to sing with you someday, and I don't want you to ever stop. The tough decision that I had to make was then the polishedness of Night Spins. You know what you want and where you are right now.
There's another one for Night Spins.
2 for Night Spins. Mr. Alice Cooper, it's your turn.
I totally agree. I think Avery, you're a star. You gave one of the most compelling performances at the end there, which was totally different than what we were expecting. But I gotta go with my boys, Night Spins.
Night
Spins. It's 3. I mean, it's already 3 for Night Spins, but we're gonna ask Bishop and Tosin what's up.
I put Night Spins. But I do want to say I also wrote, but I believe in Avery, because I really, really do. I genuinely don't think you should go home at all. And I put it on Night Spins because I know that Night Spins would agree with me with how incredible you are. And truly, this was like the most chaotic evening of our lives, and it was caused by you and your greatness. But Night Spins, you really blew me away today.
There's a ton of talent on stage, and music is not a competition. So even though you all had aspirations on this show, this is just a few days in your musical path. So please don't take anything away from this other than the fact that you should all continue to pursue music. But I'm gonna go with Night Spins.
We have a unanimous decision. Moving on to the finals is Night Spins. Congratulations to Night Spins.
Night Spins.
Now, I do want to switch things up a little bit. Everyone had something to say about Avery. I don't want to be that person, but Avery, if it meant you staying here and trying something out, maybe a solo act without the band and moving on to the finals, is that something you would ever try? What would you say? How do you feel about it?
I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so grateful for every single one of the panel's judges that had so many amazing things to say to me. And to be honest, like, I'm trying not to tear up, but these are my boys. Like,
we did feel like we definitely felt like you would say that, because it's undeniable. You guys are so together, but we had to ask because that last performance was insane. Your voice is unlike anyone that we've ever heard before.
Caity, I think that there's a lesson here too for any young bands watching this and any young bands here on stage, is that yeah, there's going to be so many opportunities and so many times where you're gonna come up against that a lot. The truth is, after being with my band for 23 years, that my dudes, are we all virtuosos? Absolutely not. Do we all have a great time on tour? Do we all love each other? Do we all support each other? That's what's important in rock and roll. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Night Spins
Congratulations,
again.
Night
Moving on to the
Spins.
finals. Congratulations.
I'm here with Mirror Lake behind the Troubadour in the alleyway. And guys, I'm sorry you're not advancing to the finals. It's a really emotional thing that you guys just went through.
These guys have been here since day one, and I want them to be here in the end as well. They're my best friends, and I couldn't have made any other decision.
I'm here with the young guys from Penny Fountain, and it's so good to see you guys. Listen, I know you didn't make it to the finals. Is there something you take away from this when you go back and you continue to work with the band?
A lot of what the judges, the pointers that they gave us, will definitely take those to heart.
Yeah. I'm here with Slaves to Humanity, the band from Orange County, California. Even though they're not advancing to the finals, how was the experience for you guys?
Honestly, we are so grateful to be able to have done this because, I mean, this whole show is kind of like opening up new worlds to all these other rock bands, and it's just so awesome to be part of this whole new push for rock.
So I'm here with Night Spins. The saga continues, guys. Unbelievable. Let's think about it, all right? You didn't make the first cut. The Mercy Council, of course, was going to send you guys home. The judges said, screw that. We like these guys. Brought you back in, and here you are.
It's a blur. It's a blur. It's a wild ride. It's been crazy. And Mirror Lake, as Josh stands, like, Avery is an incredible singer, and every single napkin that we have has Avery's name on it. And her answer tonight when the judges asked her about going solo was what this whole entire competition is about. It's about being in a band and creating original music with your mates.
Congratulations on making it to the next round, which is the finals. I'm excited to see what you guys pull out of your hat, and it's been a wild ride so far, right?
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Well, let's keep it going.